Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the Transformers Age of the Primes Titan class action figure of Star Optimus Prime, one of the 13 original Primes. And before opening this set, let's have a quick look of the details on this case. So up front here, we have a picture of the Star Optimus Prime in his robot mode, holding his artifact, the Zodiac Orb, and looks like he can change into his vehicle mode. That's a truck, and another alternate mode. That's like a battle station or a base. And on the back here, we can see pictures of other members of the 13 primes on his back. And up here, it's just talking about how it takes 13 steps to transform from robot mode to the vehicle mode, and then the 36 steps from vehicle mode to the battle station or base mode. And down here we have a Star Optimus Prime's symbol insignia here, like a basically a star shape symbol. Here on top of the box we have a picture of all the 13 original primes together, and again with their unique symbols or insignias on top of them. Down on this corner, this is where they specify this is a Titan class figure, which are usually like the Transformer figures of the largest size. And usually they are the ones that can transform into a base or battle station. So then back here we have a lot of details on what this figure can do and what other content it has. It looks like he has a Micromaster partner here, hot rod, which it can also transform into an alternate form and back to a robot mode. And looks like it's a very simple figure that it would only require 4 steps to transform, but it can work with other components of the Star Optimus Prime. For the battle station, it can also like set it inside Star Optimus Prime's chest along with the Zodiac Orb. And here we have Star Optimus Prime in his robot mode and wielding like a torch, and which basically can also function like a sword weapon or any kind of blade. And his guns, this figure apparently has enough articulation that he can hold the blaster with 2 hands. Down here we have his truck or vehicle mode, and again we have his base mode here with a hot rod operating a weapon or blaster there. And from this picture here, it looks like the set includes a lot of the blaster effect for Optimus's guns or weapons. Looks like that's all the details we can get from the case. Now let's open this up. Okay, so here we have the instruction manual for this set. And here we have the main figure of Star Optimus Prime, his guns and hot rod here. And I'm guessing there's more accessory inside here. And here as well. So now I just have to cut all the ties binding the figure and the tape that's sealing the accessories. Maybe easier if we start cutting from the back. So the figure itself is free. Now we just have to also cut loose the hot rod and other accessory. Which is kind of a little difficult here because this guy is tight, pretty tightly. What do we have here? So we have a few packs with the accessories or weapons and the blaster effects, or the flaming effects, like the energy blasts. And finally, we have the Zodiac orb right here. We have like a little tank here. Looks like it could be part of Star Optimus Prime's legs here. And we have another one down there. So Here's Star Optimus Prime and all the accessories from the set. Here we have the figure and all the accessories. This little black truck you saw from the case before. It was actually located in the back of the set. And now let's have a look in the instruction manual on how we can set up the figure. So looks like the first thing to do will be put on Star Optimus Prime's horns or antlers, which is like a pair of blue pieces that's located in this pack. As you can see, they're right here. And then open up the chest compartment to put in the Zodiac orb. And reclose it. And put on a pair of blasters on the figure's shoulders. And you can pull up, pull the legs apart, and then, as mentioned before, these two pieces are gonna be attached onto the back of the legs. And the compartment of the legs have to be opened up in order to place some of these the black truck and other accessories into the legs, and then just reclose them back up, and then the basic setup is finished. So here we have Star Optimus Prime and the pieces or accessories you saw from the setup manual. Now let's set them up. Then we begin by putting on the horns here. Now we put on the other one. And next, let's put on the pieces that go on the back of the legs. It may help or it may not if you open up the legs first, but I'm gonna keep them closed for now. And see these openings here and the hinges on the leg. You just have to fit them onto it like this. Then this one as well. There we go. Now you can open up the legs. And next, we'll put these accessories into the leg compartment, which you open by flip up these panels here, and then open them up. And now this truck and this piece here, which is the handle for Optimus's flaming sword or lightsaber, it's gonna go in here. So this is easy. You just have to fit this handle onto the hole in here. And this, see the openings or the rectangular hole down on this under the truck here. And see the impression here. Now you just have to press the truck onto them. So now we can just reclose this back up. then close the panel locking the leg. And you can put the pair of blaster on Optimus's shoulders. And finally, we open the chest compartment here. And now we put the Zodiac orb on here. Now we just close the chest compartment back up. There we go. Now the setup is complete. Now let's explore this figure's articulation in robot mode. So here, the head, you can look left and right very easily. Unfortunately, not enough articulation for this figure to go look up and down. And its arms. Now, with the blaster in the way, it can raise all the way up, but if you want to, I guess you can move like nearly 90 degrees like that. No, so it's the same thing on this arm. You can at least raise about 45 degrees, but you have to be careful with the shoulder blaster. So if you want more arm shoulder movement, you may have to detach the shoulder blasters for poses. Arm can turn like that, but unfortunately it's got the spring load mechanism, so it's always gonna be like this noisy when you turn the arms. The hands can rotate too. And the figure can turn like its waist, so there's enough upper body movement for you to put on like a attack or defense pose like this. Or you can even try to set up a punching pose. Now let's check out. So this armor piece around the waist, you can flip up so the leg can raise to a sideways as well. This can be like a kicking pose. And the leg can rotate at the side joint. This armor piece can also flip up, so you have more. The leg can raise up. Like a kick. It can bend at its knees as well. Same thing on the other leg. And finally, its side joint, its ankle joint, you can turn here. So this will help adjust the figure's stance. And now let's go back to the instruction manual here and see how we can set up Star Optimus Prime here with his weapons. And this section here is showing us how we can put the blaster effect parts onto the blaster to show like the gun firing effects. And in this picture we have Optimus firing both blaster weapons, actually 4, that's including his shoulder blasters. And here we can also use the blaster effect to turn onto the handle piece to make like a lightsaber. And here it's also shown that we can use the saber handle piece to combine his 2 blasters into one. And so basically forming a combined blaster here. And again, you can put the firing effect on the shoulder blaster and instead turn them into handheld blasters here. And the hot rod figure can be transformed into the robot mode and be set up as a firing blaster on inside the Star Optimus Prime's chest. And that's how the weapon accessories can be utilized. And now let's just set up the gun firing effect. So as you see, we just have to attach the blue energy blast effect onto the blaster here. Now just attach it onto the Optimus hand. We can always just adjust the angle of the arms to make it look a little different. Here we have Star Optimus Prime holding both of his blaster weapon, and here are some energy blaster or firing effects down here. And as you can see here, the yellow energy blast effect parts can be separated and individually onto different parts of Optimus here to show him off or display like he's firing multiple energy blasts at once. As you can see how it's attached to the leg down there, and we can do the same here on this other leg. Indeed, there are these tiny hinges on there. You just put them on like this, and then another one down. And then another energy blast can go on the blaster here. You can utilize this figure's articulation to pull down like the pulse of Optimus, firing multiple energy blasts in multiple, if not all directions. And here we have the handle piece that was placed inside Optimus' left leg here, and we can put any of these energy effect parts onto it and let him hold the like a sword or blade. So here's the handle on hand, or we can put this on like the instruction manual showed. So this one, like on the back of the box. This golden yellow one. Again, with this figure's articulation, we can use, and once again, we can utilize this weapon and this figure's articulation to put on many kinds of sword fighting poses. And you can decide which energy effect parts to utilize as blade for the said sword fighting poses. Even a stabbing pose like this one. And here we have the two blaster weapon along with this sword handle here, which is gonna be used as a connector to put these two weapons together. There we go, and you can just put it in Optimus's hand. There we go. And again, you can utilize the figure's articulation to put on some cool gunfighting poses with this combined blaster. And from what we saw from the backs of the case before, looks like there isn't actually a second handle for Optimus to put both hands on, but still, again, with the arms articulation, you can set up to make it look like it does. So it's like he's holding the blaster with both hands here. You can set up this pose from different kinds of angle, depends on the kind of cool you want Optimus to show off. And finally, the shoulder blaster can function as handheld blaster as well. So this is like he's fighting with two small guns firing two different directions kind of pose. This covers the basic features of Star Optimus Prime in his robot mode. Now let's move on to his alternate modes. And lastly, Star Optimus Prime can open it up its hand like this, which allows you to have it hold the Zodiac orb in the hand. Like this. And you can also let him hold the orb this way. Like a handheld torch. And now let's check out the transformation steps in the instruction manual. So we start from here. First we have to retract its hands into the arms. And bend the arms, so it looks like it's gonna be part of the front section of the vehicle mold. And then flip down a panel on the shoulder, as well as opening the chest panel, so the head is gonna be slide into it. And then close and move up the shoulders. And it looks like that's gonna form the front of the vehicle mold. And then there's some parts that was inside the chest. It's gonna become like the small wheels for the vehicle mold. And then turn the upper body section like a 180 degree. Then you start transforming the legs into like the trailer section of the truck vehicle mold. Looks like we also have to move up this panel again to become the side of the trailer section. And open up the panel in the legs so we can move some of the piece down and close back up. And there we have the vehicle mold or the truck mold. And you can once again attach the energy blast effect onto several of the blaster weapons and put those weapons on the vehicles so it can look like it's firing energy blast even in vehicle mode. And due to the complexity of these transformation step here, I'm gonna forego the transformation process, and I'll show everyone how Star Optimus Prime here looks in the truck vehicle mode. And here we have Star Optimus Prime in this like armor weaponized truck mode. And besides looking cool in this vehicle mode, Star Optimus Prime can easily roll like this, and because there's like so many wheels for this vehicle mode, it's a lot easier for this figure to just roll in this form than most Transformer figure in their ground vehicle mode. as you saw from the instruction manual, the one more thing we can do to enhance the display value of this vehicle mode is attach the blaster weapons as well as the energy blast effect on. So here we have the main blaster with the blue energy beam firing effect on, and it's supposed to be attached on top here. More weapons fire on either side. Up front in the showed in the front blaster here. And this one. It's to be attached on top at the end section here. So here we have Star Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode and blasting all his weapons. It might be better if you point this blaster in different directions, so it's not gonna look like it's one gun firing at another. And of course, you can also change the direction of each gun, so it can look like Optimus is firing at all different kinds of direction as he used this vehicle mode to travel. So in general, this vehicle mode's appearance is very imposing and maybe just simply awesome, because not only it appears like a great weaponized vehicle mode, and it can be further enhanced with attaching like several weapons on, including the firing effect part to show off a very awesome display of power. And this covers the basic features of Star Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode. But before we move on to the third form, the base mode, let's go over the Micromaster Autobot Hot Rod real quick. So here we have Hot Rod in like a very dashing car mode, vehicle mode. And now let's look into the instruction manual for his transformation steps. So here, Hot Rod in his vehicle mode, we just flip down the front of the car and slide the arm loose and flip down the legs and feet, and then we have Hot Rod in his robot mode. So now let's start transforming. And let's quickly check out the articulation of this robot mode here. So unfortunately, looks like its head cannot turn at all, but the arms can move somewhat freely, but still very limited articulation here. The legs can move to the sides, bend the knee, but there's no ankle joint, so its stance is limited. But it can stand on its two legs very nicely. And now let's look up the instructions for the transformation steps of changing from the truck mode to the base mode. So first we have to remove the piece we originally attached to the legs of Star Optimus Prime. And we took out the black vehicle truck. Just basically start transforming the whole upper parts. And stand up the section that's the upper body of Star Optimus Prime. And in this process, the upper body of Star Optimus Prime will be set up, and while the lower body and all the legs will just become the lower section of the base. And the removed piece is also gonna become like a panel attached to form part of the base. And the little extra black truck can be utilized to house Hot Rod in his vehicle mode. Hot Rod apparently can also be used to set up with one of Star Optimus Prime's blaster. Use it like a weapon platform. And the black truck can also be converted into like a weapon platform for Hot Rod here. And at the end, we can attach all the energy blast effect parts onto the base. So can Hot Rod be stationed onto the base. In the section that's like the internal chest parts of Star Optimus Prime. And so now I will show everyone how Star Optimus Prime looks in the base form. And here we have Star Optimus Prime in his base mode. And as you can see, well, not bad looking. This base isn't exactly too complex either. Basically, the legs of Star Optimus Prime just change into the like a bunch of flattened out pieces, and the main body kind of just stay more or less the same, so to become like some kind of battle station. And here we have the black truck here with hot rodding his vehicle mode. You can fit in here. So, and as you saw before, this black truck can be usually housed inside Star Optimus Prime's leg in robot mode. So I guess this means you can put hot rod in there as well to keep them all together. Here we have hot rod set up on the armor truck, transform into a weapons platform, and equipped with the energy blast effect. Here we have with the truck turning to the weapon platform attached onto the base mode, along with many other blaster weapons and the energy blast effect parts. As well as the flaming torch, both in the hands of Star Optimus Prime and Hot Rod. So weapon station here, and with Hot Rod station here, you can also have another feature to work with. Like if you turn the switch here, the gun can be rotated like that. So hot rock can be set up to like firing at many different directions. Of course, a little downside of having to utilize this feature is that you have to move Optimus's arms a bit, so it won't get in the way of the rotation. We can also have Hot Rod stand on Optimus's arm here. We can also have Hot Rod set inside Optimus's chest compartment, as we saw from the instruction manual here on top of the Zodiac orb. So it will look like it's operating the whole base from a control center or chair. And this covers the basic features of Star Optimus Prime in the base mode. Overall, it's not way too impressive, but it's kind of cool, so that they establish Star Optimus Prime as triple changer, and this weapons platform station or base mode serves like a similar function as both robot and vehicle mode, in that all three of them can house a whole bunch of blaster weapons, and we can you utilize the energy blast effect part, show off like weapons firing simultaneously, so therefore give off a powerful weaponized form and the destructive effect kind of impression. And with that, we have covered all the features of this figure. But the fact that the upper body of the robot mode remain relatively the same kind of makes you feel with it's like it really didn't transform too much. That's why I would say this form doesn't feel way too impressive. Before I make my final review, I like to compare Star Optimus Prime to the giant combiner figure Devastator real quick. As you can see, Star Optimus Prime stands taller than even a combiner such as Devastator. If you ever want to have a version of Optimus Prime that can beat up like the evil, powerful Decepticon, this would make Star Optimus Prime a good choice. You can put them together into like a fighting pose, and like Optimus punching Devastator here. Or to be able to stomp on like a powerful figure like Devastator. Or engaging in a gunfight. So in general, this figure is a super powerful, gigantic version of Optimus Prime who can show off a lot of, again, energy blasting effect in all three of its forms. So basically, the very good thing about this figure is how imposing it looks. As you saw in the robot mode, he looks like incredibly strong, powerful, and this figure form is actually a recycle of an old Japanese Optimus Prime counterpart, Star Convoy's form. So it's not very original. So for any fans who would prefer to collect a Transformer figure that's somewhat unique might feel disappointed. However, at least again in the size this figure is set up with, will have like very powerful presence, and I believe that alone would attract a lot of collectors. But that could be also be a major turn off because as probably most Transformers fan should know that Optimus Prime simply isn't supposed to be like this large, because in the reason Optimus is kind of included in this line is because the Transformer mythology has been kind of changed a bit, so that Optimus Prime turns out to be one of the original primes that went to rebirth, become Orion Pax, and then will eventually become Optimus Prime again. So his original form is kind of just somewhat depicting the Age of Prime lines here as Star Optimus Prime. Since Star Optimus Prime isn't exactly supposed to be the most physically powerful of the original 13 primes, nor is he the leader. That honor belonged to Prima. So in general, this just seems wrong to give Optimus or Star Optimus Prime here such powerful presence. But if we ignore that again, so it's just simply excellent to see Optimus Prime in such powerful state. So again, if you love Optimus Prime so much that you like him to be so powerful, as you can see, the size is even greater than that of Devastator, and you can definitely use this figure to set up some very impressive display of being able to trash any Decepticons, and if that's the kind of battle scenes you want to set up display for, then this figure would definitely be very useful. There's still something to watch out for. So, well, it's great that this figure is equipped with so many energy blast effect parts to help set up display, but those set effect parts are actually can be very easily detached, which again could be both good and bad thing. It could be good because so that way you don't have to worry about having to like remove them and put them away, but since they're so easily detached, they can easily fall as you try to set them up for display. So that's one thing you want to watch out for as you utilize them. And another thing that can be a bit problematic is this little truck here. And as you saw before, it's usually to be carried in Star Optimus Prime's leg. But once it's attached inside the leg through these openings and the hinge in the leg, it can actually become very tight in there, and it will be very difficult to remove them later. So just one thing you want to watch out how to handle. And of course, there's a hot rod inclusion in this set. It's always fun to have a transformer that has a kind of some sort of mini-con, but in this case, Micromaster partners, so you feel like you're paying more than one transformer in one set, and could be kind of fun to work with. And finally, I guess the biggest challenge of getting this set is not just how you can make it work, it's also like the budget you would have to be able to acquire this, as this can cost more than twice the leader class transformer figure. So this, it's a very heavy price. You're gonna have to decide if it's worth spending it on, even despite how awesome and excellent this Star Optimus Prime look. But all the issues aside, again, this is like one of the best looking and most imposing transformer figure that's being manufactured, especially if you love a great incarnation or version of Optimus Prime. So this definitely would make a great addition to your collection. This concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel. And please check out other videos in my channel. If you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.